Thank you so much for joining. Let's go around real quick. Guys, we're drinking some high octane shit. Wendy, what are you drinking?
I am drinking an Orpheus Brewing Stouts all the way down, the Cinnamon Duality Cassia, 13%.
For myself, I've got a Hop Slam 2022, a nice 10 percenter. I wasn't able to drink it because I was on meds during the winter area, so I'm able to drink it now, trying to clean out my fridge. Tito, what do you got?
I'm finishing off my coffee peanut butter chocolate stencil stout from Unexpected Craft Brewing Company, which we just finished the interview for them. And then like I say, I felt I had to crank it up a little bit, so I'm going with the Dragon's Milk triple mash. So
Well, for
that's what
those
I'm
that
drinking.
aren't going hard like the three of us, Dan, what do you got?
I've got myself a milkshake stout.
And Nick.
I am drinking a Whitman Pilsner.
For those of you listening via the podcast and the YouTube, you've obviously realized that we Ken fucked up, as per usual, and forgot to unmute everybody else. That I still have that power, apparently, where I could just hear myself all the time. Don't worry if you're listening via the podcast, though. You didn't hear that. You just hear me explaining that that's what happened. But we're going to start with the news, starting with Tito's news article. Tito, what do you got for us?
So my news article this week, it's about a new bipartisan bill that was introduced into Michigan legislature that will allow universities and colleges to start to sell alcohol during basketball games, football games, and hockey games. So the law is bipartisan backed. The lawmakers are backing this bill. They will not only what they're trying to do is what they're saying about this bill while they're trying to enforce it and trying to push it is basically they're stating that allowing alcohol to be sold in the universities will basically bring the game experience to a modern level. Okay. But at the same time, they're also stating that it's also will help deal with a health and safety issues. But what I mean not by that is what they're saying is that health and safety issues by some of the research that's been done stated that sales of alcohol inside inside the stadium in the concourse reduces the amount of alcohol related incidents that happen throughout the event. So that's one of the couple of things that the reasons why they're pushing this and they're allowing this to go. Because actually, you think about it, in the Big Ten, Michigan State and Michigan are at a pretty much disadvantage for all the other universities because all the other universities are allowed to sell alcohol inside of the stadium during games and things, whereas in Michigan we're not allowed to. So that's a bill that's being pushed. The question I have for you guys that came up from this is this something that you think will pass? And do you actually think it'll start to affect the tailgates? Because previously people would just get drunk at the tailgates and then, stumble their ways on into the game or whatnot. So do you think that this may kill some tailgates now that they can go buy beer inside the stadium?
First and foremost, isn't the Big Ten going up to 16 schools?
Yeah, we get USC.
Yeah, we got USC and UCLA. I wonder if USC and UCLA do alcohol sales. I think that's one question that I think we need to ask ourselves. If that's the case, then should Michigan start hopping on the bandwagon? I think that's the first question. I mean, because USC,
to answer
UCLA
your
are two big
question,
schools. So
Nick, 8 of the 14 universities currently allow alcohol sales.
okay, well,
So,
but
obviously, two
I
out of
get
the other
that.
14 are Michigan and Michigan State. So they're
Correct.
not.
I know.
So USC does allow beer as of last year, beer and wine.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Now, also that being said, MSU does sell alcohol, but it's only in their suites.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, and they also
Sounds classist.
Michigan State also allow alcohol sales for special events. Like when I think it was in 2014, Michigan had the an international soccer game they had there. They allowed alcohol to be sold, during that event, and also during when the Red Wings played there,
Yeah, Red
out there
Wings,
in
Toronto.
Red Wings
Yeah.
in Toronto when they played out there. They also allowed alcohol to be sold during those events only.
Well, as a fellow Man U supporter in the International Champions Cup, they better have served beer at a
what's
Man U game.
Yeah, what's a soccer match without blackout drunk fights going on?
Dan, I got something for you a little bit later on when I talk about my.
I was going to say 40% of the hosts right now are huge DCFC supporters in this,
and owners too.
Wendy,
I'm pointing to my owner
too?
certificate right there.
Oh my gosh, that's such a sad story. I don't want to talk about it.
All right,
I
Wendy
won't.
is not an owner.
Right, at least the Phoenix Rising can win the league.
Stupid
I'm like,
old
never mind.
emails, whatever.
Dan, we missed it. DCFC was in Las Vegas while we were in there playing a Las Vegas team.
Oh boy!
Oh my god, I would have gone to see that if I was there.
It was the same night we were watching the wrestling show.
Yeah. I will say that I think the bipartisanship is going to help. I think get traction to get this through Michigan House and Michigan Senate. I think that's going to be a very big factor, and I think it will. I think it'll be a little bit more easier to pass along. Typically, when you get bipartisanship, that's typically when you start seeing things pass. That's just the truth.
So here's the caveats. The caveats that we don't necessarily see. Compliments of our webmaster. We appreciate everything that he does. He also works in Lansing, so we get to hear a little bit more regarding the bills that are going on. One of the things that is an issue is the competition it says that it'll create, because it'll have to obviously allow for Class C liquor license to be able to be sold to those sites. So Big House and whatever Michigan State plays. I don't know the name of the stadium. I was about to say I know the Breslin Center.
Spartan Stadium.
Spartan Stadium.
So
Ken, you're my favorite.
I mean, it's just it is what it is. I feel there's going to be that issue of quote unquote fairness. Also, with the ability to purchase alcohol on site, people may not go to bars prior to the events themselves. They might not go to your Good Time Charlie's or your Lansing Brewing Company, like those types of places where people might go before a game. Now, on the flip side, when everyone talks about alcohol at a university, they talk about underage drinking. They talk about those, those are going to happen no matter where you are. But there is a big statistic that since 2016, Ohio State has eliminated 2/3 of alcohol-related incidents after it started selling alcohol in the stadium. And I think that line alone should be the reason to not only sell, but make exceptions. Because if you are going to stop 2/3 of incidents per day, you're going to save taxpayer money. You're going to save, kids' lives. You're going to do a lot just by doing this. I know it's weird to say you're going to save kids' lives by allowing alcohol sales at a venue, but you are, because these shitheads are, instead of slamming beers in a tailgate and going in completely schlitz, they're going to be like, oh, I can have a beer or two like you would at a Ford Field tailgate, and walk into the stadium and have a few more beers and be perfectly fine. Because their goal is that they're going to just completely smash 10 beers before they get in to keep that buzz the entire game.
Well, I think that kind of depends on the venue, as well, because like certain stadiums that don't have like their own parking lots or anything that are close or attached to the stadium, those type of venues will benefit from this, because a lot of people may just forego tailgating 2-3 blocks away and just go straight to the stadium and have their drinks there, opposed to, like, in case point, like Central Michigan, their tailgate lot is right attached to the back of the stadium. So will that actually stop the tailgating there? I don't think so. I don't think that will actually kill that the tailgating there just so people can go buy drinks inside. I think that'll just continue to party once they get inside. So,
well, obviously we were talking about Michigan and Michigan State, but as I'm reading this is for all Michigan
It's all Michigan.
as well as for university football, basketball, and hockey stadiums.
Yep.
So you're saying we can drink it like a Schoolcraft College like softball game now?
No, because that's not football, basketball, or hockey, Dan.
Oh, sorry. Well, a Schoolcraft College basketball game. We can get shit-faced and have a good time.
That means at a Wayne State game.
I would like to point out.
This is for public universities.
Though, that Schoolcraft College does have a brewing program. So technically we should be able to buy their beer there.
So Tito says public universities. Wendy says bring the breweries that are on site there. So let's go KVCC, and I think Central Michigan's got a brewing and fermentation program.
That generated another question I had off this article is, are we going to start to see, breweries set up shop inside stadiums now in Michigan? I mean, kind of how Coppercraft Distillery set up shop inside of Comerica Park. Will we potentially start to see that if this bill gets passed? Do you guys see something like that? Do you think that's something that will, come to fruition?
100%. Bell's is already in the theater program at Western Michigan.
Okay.
Like if you go to the theater at Western Michigan, you can get, your choices are basically like Bud Light, Two Hearted, and whatever the seasonal beer is.
Okay.
So yeah, 100%. And I think there's go on, Wendy.
I just want to say well done, Western, because most of the breweries that we talk to are about helping out their community. So I would like to see that it's the breweries that are actually selling the beer in these stadiums that are serving the communities.
It wasn't the breweries. They were just the beer that was being sold there. Sorry. It was like a limited contract.
But it's still that whole... I would like to see that happen, though. Like, drink local.
Totally agree.
Yeah, my real question is, and this is totally going in another direction, but who's ready for the shit show at a Michigan Tech or LSSU hockey game? Because you guys are focused on the big schools, but there ain't much to do up in the UP. And just knowing from experience up there, it's going to turn into a clusterfuck when this breaks out, and everyone could get drunk at a hockey game.
Let's be honest, they're already bringing their own alcohol in.
Into the arena, no. They're probably not. Outside drinking, yes. But now when they can get shit-faced inside, if you guys remember the 80s and the 90s of people jumping over the penalty box, I can see stuff like that happening.
Was it slap shot or something? Is Paul Newman in this shit? Where they do that? And the guy's throwing keys at the Hanson brothers or something?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, you know what, Dan? You talked last. Let's go to your article.
All right. So the roller coaster to buy Modern Times continues. I know we talked about this 2 weeks ago, and Brewery X was the winning bidder with a 14-day close. Well, since the last time we talked, they have decided to back out. And now Hawaii-based Maui Brewing is now the next in line to purchase at, instead of buying for $20 million, they're buying at $15.3 million. Instead of the 14-day close that Brewery X was looking for, they're looking for a 120-day close. And now they're talking about all these legalities of attempting to purchase Modern Times. Especially if you're trying to buy from the Central Pacific, makes it kind of interesting. So this is why I brought this up again. Number one, I've been talking about it for months now. Ken brought up good points about, spending this money to keep this brewery afloat while this whole buying process is going on. When does this end? Could we see this ending up being the end of Modern Times as we know it? I mean, could we end up with no buyer and they go in insolvent? I'm just curious about everyone's opinions.
What happened to True Colors purchase?
True Colors had that. They submitted that claim, or not that claim, that bid that was after the whole thing closed, and it didn't get approved. They were trying to buy for $20.1 million, and it wasn't approved. So the next in line is now Maui at 15.3.
It wasn't approved by who? Sorry.
By the judge. Sorry.
Okay.
The judge overseeing everything.
because when you said that it didn't go and then it dropped by 25% in purchase price,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, wait a minute, because True Colors was only spending $100,000 more for their purchase, but I mean, this. I hope for all parties involved that it doesn't get caught up in too much red tape to where it just destroys everything.
And that's where I feel like we're going. We're looking at, a major brewery in the country, not even just regionally out here, is potentially going to go under from this kind of situation. You talked about it before. They have all these leases, all these bills that are coming due. The 14-day close, made it a great option. And then all of a sudden, days after it's approved, Brewery X just dropped out of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm reading the article. It looks like another huge point, too, to notice is because we're getting closer with the Maui bid. They are currently defaulting on $12.9 million in loans. So
that's a lot of money, yeah.
That is a lot of money.
At $15.3 million bid with $12.9 million in loans.
On 3 loans, yep. It's really sad times to see such a brewery that just a couple of years ago is one of the really fastest growing breweries in the country kind of going under.
I mean, we just had them on a year ago.
Yeah, not even.
Like, it is ridiculous to see how far it's gone, and I'm sure the guys that we talked to weren't necessarily the money men, so they might not even have known what was going on in the back end, and getting the rug pulled out from under them right now.
Did it say why the judge denied the initial offer?
So the winning offer was from Brewery X. It was True Colors that had the bid that was above that they filed afterwards, saying they didn't have an opportunity. I believe I'd have to pull up the other article.
Okay,
we talked about it about 2 weeks ago. I'm not seeing in here why that one was not approved.
Yeah, if they obviously they like somebody bid that maybe they just bid to bid, and not necessarily bid to win. Like, hey, we're not going to get our bid approved, so we might as well throw our name in the bucket. But if Maui threw it in there, I think it allows for True Colors to potentially come in with a lower bid and potentially get it in there. Like they might have just tried to like throw money into, or not throw money in, but throw a bid in.
Say, are you talking about Maui?
No, I'm talking about
True Colors.
Like True Colors could potentially come in now, because Maui said 120 days, right? Was that the
yes? Yeah,
and that was what True Colors offered, was 20.1 120 days or 90 days. That might have been
90 days. Yeah.
So. I mean, we're throwing a lot of numbers, a lot of names, a lot of dates, but in the end, like, something needs to stick, or Modern Times might go to where they default on everything gets sold, and then the banks are basically just trying to collect by selling the recipes.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're selling the equipment, and that's it.
Yeah. Assets, equipment. Have you guys have been to Modern Times, right? I think Wendy has.
I've been there. Yeah.
Or Dan has. Wendy has not. I just assume Wendy because I know you travel for beer. You're muted.
I wish I had.
You can still go. It's a great place.
There's one Modern Times that's boarded up that I saw on Pilsnerish, I think, which is a goofy Instagram and Facebook page of people who make terrible Untapped reviews. Yeah, I just there's not much else to really say until they get.
It's gonna get in a range where we could buy it sooner or later, so. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Everybody start pooling their money.
I mean, nothing's good. It's not going to get sold for like 15 million is probably going to be the bottom of the barrel. I don't foresee them taking anything less than 15 million, especially since the offer is there. It's got a solvent company like Maui Brewing. I'm assuming that they're good to go.
Can you imagine the logistics of running Maui Brewing and Modern Times 6 hours apart?
Not at all.
Travel wise.
I 100% the only thing, like, I feel like they're going to take Modern Times and the amount of freight that they don't have to pay now to make Maui Brewing beer in the continental U.S.
True story.
I think
Maui. Can you even get Maui beer?
you can get Maui beer in
Yes.
Detroit.
Can you?
Oh yeah.
And like you could not only save money, you could cut your cost on like what your MSRP. You could cut that cost and still save money on the amount of freight that you're going to save. Yeah, I think this is great for Maui. I hope True Colors, if they really wanted it, goes through. But before I continue, because I'm going to hop on the bandwagon of breweries being purchased and sold, there are some people who left us reviews on iTunes, guys.
Oh,
They were so kind.
Oh,
What?
oh,
It
joy.
happens.
we have new ones.
We got some new ones. I want to read a few because I said
Oh, boy.
in a previous episode that, if you guys leave us a review, and if it's nice, and I said, it could be 5, it could be 1, that we'll invite you to our Griffin Claw Flying Buffalo full vote.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
What did you do?
We're gonna invite someone who's a 1-star.
Hold on. I didn't do anything.
Please do.
But we got some reviews. This is going to be in October, folks. Guys, if I name your name, shoot us an email, betterondraft@gmail.com. Throw us a link of like your iTunes name or something like that, just so we can confirm. But I want to go over a couple of these reviews because I think some of them are very, very nice.
Is this like the new Jimmy Kimmel mean tweets segment now?
No, it's not. Nick, we got some nice reviews, damn it. I want to be happy about it.
Some people do like us, Nick.
Yeah, some people. Not many, but
Some, not everybody.
If you guys still want to come out to the Griffin Claw Full Vert Bottle Share 300th episode, 7-year anniversary, we're going to be doing it in Auburn Hills. Date is not official to you guys. We know the date, but it's not official to you guys. It's going to be in October. It's going to be on a Friday, because that's when we record our shows. No, you're not going to need to be on the show. You're just going to be there for the beer. Feel free to bring a bottle if you want to, but we're going to have plenty of Flying Buffalo for you to drink. Would you, letter U, brew, put a review and said, for me, just a good listen to brighten my day. That was the topic. And it says, I have been listening for a while, and I do believe I've heard all the episodes. Way to go. I missed the live studio shows. I think some of us do too, and having a few with them. So I'm guessing he drinks while we get shit-faced too. But I still like the past couple of years all the same. I like hearing from and about the breweries I don't get to visit, and it helps with my wish list trip. The camaraderie of the group has always felt like a group I'd love to hang with, and we'd love to hang with you too in October. Thanks for being informative and pretty no-nonsense and staying true to yourselves. Cheers and peace.
That is a nice one.
That's a nice one.
I liked it.
See.
Yeah, there's nothing I can actually say here.
You gotta hang out too.
We got one. Let's do with this is an older one, but I liked it earlier. Steve, not from Blue's Clues. That's this guy's name.
What's his name?
He gave us the subject clown shoes, so I'm guessing it was after our clown shoes interview. I remember getting big into craft beer in the early 2010s, and I honestly forgot all about clown shoes. Glad to see they're still out there and kicking. I'll have to go find some of those variety packs. So Steve, not from Blues Clues, betterondraft@gmail.com. Email us. We will invite you. And the last one,
I've got a variety pack that's not open.
and the last one, guys. So I said, leave a review, be honest, but I need to know why. Gear Bike is his name. The subject, Griffin Claw Brewery, says, after listening for years, I checked you guys and girl out on YouTube. You don't look like anything you sound. I hope that is a compliment.
I feel like it's not. But
I don't know how I feel about that.
Send me an invite to my local brewery, Griffin Claw show. Thanks. So he listens to the show. He or she, shouldn't assume, listens to the show and gave us 4 out of 5 stars.
I don't look like anything you sound like. 3 stars.
So if I look like Fabio or like, a very
stop watching the video.
Hot model,
Just don't watch the video.
But you know what?
I will say, as a listener, now and have an opportunity to be a host, which I am more than grateful. I kind of agree. You guys didn't look like what I thought you looked like, but it's all for the better. I mean,
look. I know I'm 5'2", but man, I pack quite a punch with my voice, man. Ken has the lower.
Listen, I'm 6 foot. Listen, I'm 6'3", and I'm the fucking bouncer. So if these 1-star reviews want to show up at this party, they're welcome to do so.
Come meet us at City Club, Dan.
Come meet us at. We don't have to go there. We don't fight there. Nick, get it right.
In the parking lot.
In the parking lot.
So I think it's funny that Tito just said that, because Tito has recognized me by sight
and
at web and by my voice.
At
because
web?
we were on the way. At web. At the World Expo Beer.
Oh, web.
And then we were on the way to different festivals in a hotel, in the not a hotel shuttle, but
airport shuttle bus.
Airport shuttle.
Yep.
And he was like, "You are not going to believe how crazy small this world is, but I totally just recognized your voice. Are you Wendy?"
It's unreal. I've bumped into Wendy more than anybody else in my life, really, because we're sitting on the shuttle bus, and then all of a sudden she just started talking on the phone, and I'm sitting there to myself. I'm like, I know that voice. And so that's what I said to her. I said, "Aren't you Wendy from Better on Draft?" She was like, "Yeah." And we had masks on because we were inside of a shuttle bus, so we both had masks on, so you couldn't see full face or anything. It was unreal.
He was like, "I'm Tito," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know you."
So, as I brought it from Dan talking about modern times, I want to talk about Stone real quick, because VinePair came out with an article, and it's something that I feel like we all might agree on, and we're going to go through quick yeses or nos. The article's title is, "Does anybody care that Stone Brewing sold out?"
No.
Nobody cares.
As long as they keep making Woot
Nope.
Stout, who fucking cares?
Yeah, there you go.
So for those of you
True
that
story.
don't know, the 18th largest brewery in the United States, Stone Brewing, will now fall under the 29th largest brewery in the world, Sapporo, whose USA subsidiary, Sapporo USA, also owns San Francisco's Anchor Brewing, as well as Unibrew, who we've had on the show, from Quebec, Canada. So Stone Brewing, obviously, Greg Koch is well known for saying that he'll never sell out. He just won a lawsuit against Miller Coors and has now sold the farm. We did, with reference to modern times, we did our Deadpool. And we talked about breweries that we thought, and we say Deadpool for the reference of breweries that we think are going to get bought, not breweries that we think are going to get out of business, or go out of business, not get out of business. So we thought, we did not see Stone really on that list, because Greg Koch, along with winning the Miller Coors lawsuit, we never thought he would be like on the next boat ready to get the hell out of here. But I don't think there's really much else to the article, because I think VinePair really hit it on the head. Do we care? I think at this point we don't. Like, we don't care that Bell's sold out.
Oh.
Like, Larry Bell is old. No offense to Larry Bell, but you gotta retire, bro. Like, enjoy your life, enjoy the thing that you built.
Exactly.
It sucks that you weren't able to pass it down. You tried, and that's okay, but sooner or later, the money train is gonna come, and you're gonna need to take it, because if not, that money train's gonna get smaller and smaller as people know that they know you're going to sell out. It's just when. So yeah, I feel like just at this point, as long as the beer is good, nobody cares.
I agree. As long as the beer doesn't change, nobody cares.
Yeah, as long as I can still get that arrogant bastard, the double bastard in like the giant champagne bottle, who cares? You know, like who really cares at that point?
All right. I mean,
Derailed.
It's not derailed like that. I felt like the article was going to be, here's my article. Everyone says no. Let's continue. So continuing, Nick.
So really quickly, Dan talked about getting bombed at soccer games. There's a possibility that they might not even sell beer at the upcoming 2022 World Cup. They're actually still debating as to what they're going to do about that.
Is this the one in Doha?
Yeah, it's in Doha. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so there's a possibility for that for the first time in the tournament's history that beer will not be sold at the World Cup. But
oh boy,
that is not what I wanted to talk about. Although, as much as I wanted to, I'm like, maybe that's a slippery slope to talk about something else that we don't talk about on this show. So, anyway, if you were approached by someone with a beer, never heard of it, and they told you it was produced using recycled sewage water, would you guys drink it?
Yes.
Yes.
So wait, is this, when it runs through the whole thing and goes back into the system type of? Oh yeah, yes. You drink that already.
Well,
have you been on a cruise?
I have actually. Oh, there we go. So Singapore is now the next country to dive into taking recycled sewage and use it for beer brewing. The brewery in Singapore known as Brewworks, that is with a WERKZ, is now collaborating with the country's national water agency called PUB. And just recently, just a couple months ago, on sale in supermarkets, you can get a blonde ale, as well as a couple different other ones, which are brewed using nothing but recycled sewage water. One person went on record saying, quote, "I seriously couldn't tell this was made from toilet water." This is a 58-year-old man making that quote, who had tried to purchase the beer from a supermarket after hearing about it. The effort is to bring awareness and importance to sustainable water use and recycling. So Singapore now jumping into the fray of sustainability and in recycling as part of its brewing operations in this one brewery in the country of Singapore, which apparently has more than one location throughout the country. So I think if I were new to beer drinking, or even craft beer for that matter, not really knowing the ins and outs, I think initially that would probably turn me off initially. But I think, as we drink more, I don't think that would deter me, because craft beer, I think brewers are pretty darn smart and pretty crafty, no pun intended, when it comes to their perfecting their craft, literally. So that's all I got. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the World Cup
stuff. Okay, I need to jump in real quick.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, Wendy.
So I think that nobody really cares where their water comes from. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're giving our water away in Michigan for them to sell it. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a little telling that I'm less concerned that they're using recycled water or sanitized water, or however you want to put it, than the fact that it's from a brewery called Brewworks, spelled incorrectly.
I mentioned it
because I would not go
when I mentioned it.
I would not want to go there because they didn't spell it correctly. It drives me insane. That's all I have to say. BREWERKZ. You spelled it out, and I literally had to go look it up because my brain couldn't function properly to see it in my mind.
I never met a grammar Nazi before in person, but wow,
no, there's a restaurant in downtown Detroit that is like craft, or it's mac and cheese, and they spell it CHEEZ.
Yeah.
I can't go.
Tito's not about this either.
Is that right by Wayne State?
Yeah,
Wendy?
drives me insane.
Yeah.
It
Right by
really
Old
just
Main.
drives me nuts.
Yeah.
You don't like your sweet Lorraine's QSR
No.
mac and cheese?
That's what it is. Sweet. There we go. Sweet Lorraine.
Yes.
I can't remember it.
Drives me insane. Stop using Z's in places of S's when it doesn't belong. Stop.
Don't feel bad, Wendy, because I kind of have to check spelling with some of my team members for work. So don't feel too bad, because I'm kind of like that as well. Except
So
the only
you're
difference is
you're the work spelling Nazi, is what you're saying.
I'm the work spelling.
So Wendy, are you not a big fan of Dead Mouse because you don't spell it M-O-U-S-E?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Is it the 5 that throws you off?
No, I'm okay with that.
So are you not a big fan of corn because it's K-O-R-N and not
Isn't there a backwards letter, like a Cyrillic?
It's
backwards
R.
R.
It's R is backwards.
So funny enough that you say that. You do know I broke my arm at a corn concert one time.
I don't.
How does that even happen?
I need
Wait.
to know this now.
Was this at Pine Knob by any chance?
Break your arm
no,
at a
this was
corn
at
concert.
this was at the Fillmore.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of steps to the bathroom.
Oh, that's even worse. Don't tell this story. Don't tell this one.
So speaking of concerts, because I feel like we've exhausted this. I think we'd all drink beer from a properly regulated water source where they actually like do the correct things to the water. There is a upcoming concert in Michigan. NoFX is playing called Drunk in Public. Or Punk and Drublic. Punk and Drublic, there you go.
Yeah, it's
punk
punk
show.
and Drublic.
And it's supposed to be a punk show and beer fest. And
You've got my attention.
they couldn't get the liquor license.
Oh,
So now it's just a concert at the Fillmore or the Masonic.
They did this pre-COVID out here. It was actually a good time. So they did it in the park down here, right downtown, and it actually had a hell of a turnout. It was actually pretty fun.
So
It's too bad.
one of the guys who did our professional photos when we were at the Detroit studio over at Motown, it was supposed to go for us to cover it. And lo and behold, I got a denial earlier today for the system or for the tickets because there is no longer a beer fest aspect to it.
Wow. Yeah, this is tomorrow, 2 to 4 at Masonic Temple.
Yep. So it's at the Masonic, and there is no beer fest itself.
So you just get to see NoFX with no beer.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, you get to drink at the Masonic, but you don't get a beer festival itself.
Oh.
In the chat, guys, we are live. Facebook.com/BetterOnDraft, BetterOnDraft.tv, Twitch.tv/Bod Podcast. I'm going to get right to you, Wendy. Trust me. You can talk with us live as we're live Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Moman9297 says it's funny when Ken addresses Wendy, he looks to his right as there is. So if you're not, so as you see, my camera is right in front of me, but as I look, my second monitor where all the cameras are right over there. So that's when I want to look at everyone, I'm always looking to the right. So apparently whenever I want to talk to someone, it's just to Wendy and I want to look right at Wendy. Moman also said that he met you in Frankenmuth last year, and he is super duper excited about Dan's Mr. Bungle poster. If you guys are listening to us via the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Apple, Google, you can always visit us on YouTube. Find the video, youtube.com/BetterOnDraft. We got one more news article to go, but Wendy, you're the news article, but you're the one that needs to chat. So what's up?
I don't even remember what I wanted to talk to you about when I did that.
I'm sorry. I needed to I
got
do the
sidetracked.
spiel.
It's okay. I get it. So my article, though, is that Well, apparently drinking beer is healthy for us.
Oh,
Who knew it could be good for you? So, thanks to Portugal's Center for Health Technology and Services Research and Nova Medical School, we can literally use the excuse that beer a day is good for us.
a beer.
A beer a day. They asked healthy men, which I don't know why they didn't ask women, aged 23 to 58, to take part in a trial asking them to drink a bottle of beer a day for a month. Did they find out that it worked? Apparently, because we're reading this article. Beer is beneficial to the composition of the intestine, which can help prevent common chronic diseases such as obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. Did you guys see that coming?
So basically, I can tell my wife that advent calendar that I did in December was for my health.
But yeah, or you could just do it like Nick does and take 9 months
Just
to drink
take
it, and
a
that
whole
doesn't
year
matter.
to do it.
Whatever, Daniel.
But don't get too crazy, though, because according to Anna Feria from Synthesis, one of the authors of the study, she said, from our tests, we can say that one beer has no negative metabolic impact. On the contrary, it even seems to have a positive impact on gut bacteria. But 10 beers, well, they can't really say. So I'm just curious if this research study impacts your choice of beverages at all, or do you just think it was a waste of money?
I mean, here's the thing. Who drinks one beer a day every day?
Nobody.
No one.
Somebody following the advent calendar.
Yeah, they're not drinking that only beer.
Advent calendar beer and nothing else. Nothing else before, nothing else after, no other beverages. Like for me, I understand, and I've read the reports or whatever health stuff. I always use quotations when it comes to alcohol, but you know, it's better to drink a few beers a day than to drink like a shit ton of beers 2 nights a week. Like that's what a lot of health professionals say. For me, spread it out. I don't drink, like, I drink Friday nights and then maybe like 1 or 2 nights a week, and that's it. Like, I could never drink every night. Like, that's just too much, like, booze. But then again, my 21 or, you know, let's say 23-year-old self, there was a reason I was drinking every night. Bowling, pool, it's Friday.
It's Tuesday.
It's Monday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, exactly.
It's Monday.
It's karaoke night. It's trivia night. It's trivia night again.
Trying to finish this homework.
There's definitely plenty of times where I started drinking while I was like trying to write some type of essay because I'm like I need to mellow out before I can get into cruise control. I don't know. It's a waste of money because nobody does that. Nobody drinks a beer if you're drinking every night, you're drinking more than one drink a night. Let's be honest. So I think the study needs to be better. Are you drinking, 5 to 7 nights, 4 beers a night, or are you drinking 2 to 3 nights, 8 beers a night? And I think that would be a truthful study, a lot more on the world of alcohol and drinking. You guys could disagree with me, but for me, like, my choice is either, if I'm drinking a lot, then I'm usually drinking less every night, but I'm still drinking 3 to 4, not 1.
1 to 2, maybe.
That's tough. Wow.
Yeah, if you're drinking only 1 to 2, that's more power to you. Like, that's,
yeah.
You're wiser at your age than me. That's why I'm the baby on this show.
To be honest, I'm typically 1 to 2 a night. So
really,
yeah. I'm basically 1 to 2.
Are forgive me, just because this is blowing my mind.
Really?
Are you 1 to 2 drinks or 1 to 2 beers? Because
1 to 2 beers.
Okay. Let's
I saw that
rewind.
smirk.
Let's rewind a second. Now let's go into drinks. How many drinks are you taking a night? So a 4% beer, an 8% wine, a 40% booze. Typical drink size, 12, 8, 1.5 ounce. What do you...
Size wise, it depends on what I'm drinking. It could be a 12, it could be a 16. Drink wise, it's typically, you pour a glass of whiskey. I don't measure how much it is.
Yeah, but what I'm trying
rocks
to say
are covered, I'm good to go.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, you're saying 1 to 2 drinks a night, but are you drinking, like, this Barrel and Beam 12 ounce is 2 drinks, even though it's 12 ounces. I consider this 2 drinks when I drink it. This Hop
this
Slam,
triple mash, that's probably 3 drinks.
The triple mash, that's 4.5 for a 12 ounce. So are you drinking, 1 to 2 beverages?
1 to 2 beverages, yes.
Okay, but not 1 to 2 drinks.
No, 1 to 2 beverages is typically what it is. Yeah.
I feel like this survey was taking into consideration ABV, and they're drinking a Budweiser or
a Pilsner or something like that.
Your standard lager pills. I just there's when I say, hey, because I only had 4 drinks tonight, but do I really consider this Bella Snow 1 full drink at 2.4%? And do I consider this Hop Slam at 10% 1 drink? Like, that's just kind of my mentality when I go into...
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's 1. I
Just
agree.
throwing that in there.
I only had... See, don't listen to Dan, first of all.
Yeah,
because Dan's
don't
the kind of
do
person
it.
that will drink a 60-ounce pitcher of Guinness and say it's 1 beer.
Yep. 100%.
If I drink
that's how I feel, because this is
entire
1
bottle
triple
of no
mash.
rules.
Come on. Ken's saying 4, but this is 1 triple mash. Come on.
I remember drinking a crowler of Worldwide Stout when it was on fire sale. I'm like, yeah, that's 1 beer. No big deal.
If I drink 1 bottle of no rules, it's still 1 drink.
Exactly.
It's 1 drink. You're good.
Exactly.
When the
Just
cop
kidding.
pulls you over, you're like, I just had 1 drink. It's okay.
Oh, no, you don't do that when you're
I
going to
still got 3 more
drive.
No, you
triple
say-
mash
you say you had
in the
2.
freezer.
You always say you had 2.
See, I got 1 triple mash left, and I also have 1 O'Doul's Amber to pair with that triple mash to help, like, mellow myself out for whenever I take that beer out.
Well, that's 2 drinks. So
Oh, my NA beer is...
yeah,
it's 2.
that 0.05% is 1 beer. It's 1 drink. It's how it works.
Just pull that average rate down there, Ken.
If it isn't 0.5 or if it isn't 15%, they're all the same. It's 1 drink.
It's...
Nick's been awfully quiet.
I ain't got much to say.
Nick's hearing this math and he's like, his head's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Because he's drinking 6-month-old Advent beer.
And it is still good, Wendy. It is still good.
He's trying to figure out aged beer, like this 8-month Pilsner that was probably 8 months before he got it. How many? Oh my God. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Better on Draft, the news segment for July 8th, 2022. We're back next week. We're not taking a week off. We're back next week. We got Partake Brewing. Speaking of 1 beers, Partake, the non-alcoholic brewery, will be on. We'll be off July 22nd for the Summer Beer Fest and back July 29th. That's going to do it, guys, gals, those who are listening. I appreciate you listening. Go give us a review on iTunes. If you want to come to our 7th anniversary / 300th episode, we are throwing a party. We want you to come because we appreciate your viewership and listenership. Go send us an email, betterondraft@gmail.com, or grab our attention by throwing an iTunes review. I loved them. Even the 4-star review. There's one more review that I want to pay attention to, just because I feel it's important to get all sides. You want to get all sides of everything. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to read 1 star. That's going to do it. Better on Draft. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Bod Podcast on Twitch and Untapped. Find out everything that we drank. Our lovely Wendy posts it every Saturday. All the beers that we drank, so you can see and follow along with what we drank. That is going to do it. I appreciate you guys listening. And for myself or my co-host, no matter what you think of your beer, we think it's Better on Draft. Have a good night.
Peace.